Which is worse?
Mortal.
Mortal is worse than venial?
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Rowdy.com Big Three, sitting alongside a hopefully mute Buck Fever. I'm Bassmasters, talking NASCAR. Even though the season is over, even though the banquet is over, Jerome Buzz Cutler still has the questions.
I always have the questions.
Well, what are they?
You guys don't always have the answers, but I always have the questions.
got the answers.
All right, let me hear how you answered this one then.
Okie dokie.
We talked last week about what driver is poised to have the biggest breakthrough in 2010. Now I want to know, what driver do you think will have the biggest fall from grace in 2010?
Let's look at the guys in the chase, first of all, because let's say the chase is grace.
Okay.
We'll call that
all right,
grace.
that's fine. That's good. That's a good way of
Chase
doing
is
it.
grace.
The chase is grace.
Chase is grace. So who's going to fall out of the chase? The guys that are vulnerable to me are guys that got in as sort of a one-car operation, right? So take Montoya, for example. Okay? He got in there. I think he figured something out about the car, but really no real signs from his teammate. I think he'll be okay, but he could be somewhat vulnerable. Number two, Casey Kane. You look at what's happening at Richard Petty Motorsports. Theoretically, they have now signed the agreement, at least according to one story I saw, to merge with Yates, become a satellite team of Roush Racing. But how much turmoil is there in that organization? A lot of turnover, a lot of people let go, a lot of things going on. That, to me, makes them vulnerable. The third team I would think about would be Brian Vickers, Red Bull Racing. Not a lot of help from his teammate, Buck. Plus, not a great chase for the 83 car. I would be a little concerned about how they ended the season.
I'm going to go with a fourth guy, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch over at Penske. Have Penske really figured it out? Will Brad Keselowski be a nice addition over there? Kurt Busch also a different crew chief. We hear it's going to be Steve Addington, but we don't know. There's a lot of balls up in the air for Kurt Busch, and he had a phenomenal season this season, and I just don't see him following through.
You got to believe the RCR cars are going to come back and knock a couple of those guys out. Plus, you've got Rudeman coming on. How is Michael Waltrip Racing going to take another step? Will Truex be good?
Also, Juan
you
Pablo,
want to consider Marcus Ambrose as a guy who could have a breakthrough next
What about
year.
Juan Pablo? Can he finish as high as fifth next year? I don't know. I don't know.
Next issue.
Issue number 2. Lots of awards given out last week in Las Vegas, including the Problem Solver of the Year award to Drew Blickensderfer, crew chief of the number 17 car. Exactly why did he win this award?
Because he solved the problem. I think he must have had some problem that is not related to NASCAR. He must have had some kind of personal problem or some kind of medical, like gout is a great example of a problem you could have that's tough to solve.
You know what he had?
Might want to go with the cherry juice to work on that.
He had back acne.
Maybe he had the grip.
Yeah. What's the grip?
La grip.
The grip is like an old way to say I'm sick.
Could he have consumption?
Consumption is a problem. Maybe he was hysterical.
Maybe.
I mean, it's possible that they saw the fact that the team won the first 2 races, tanked, and then kind of came back a little bit at the end of the year. Maybe that's solving a problem.
As somebody once said, the problem
maybe he got lost. He went the wrong way down a one-way street and
ended up in a bad part of town.
Right. Yeah. He had a problem.
He got stuck at Compton.
And he managed to get out of it okay. I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to do some digging on that one.
All right, issue number 3. For the first time in 9 years, NASCAR showed highlight packages at the banquet that included crashes. They've avoided showing crashes for 9 years, for almost a decade.
Well, you know why?
And for the first time, they put them back into the banquet highlight.
You know why?
Packages.
I mean, because we haven't had any crashes the last couple of years. But now, this year, we had a bunch of crashes, and it's now part of the sport. You know, so that's why we're putting it in now.
Buck, you may have been fooled by the previous banquet highlights. Wrecking has always been part of NASCAR, really? And as I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, because I do that sometimes, people may not watch races for the wrecks, but they watch them because the potential for the wreck is there. That's what tells you the cars are on the edge. Without the wrecks, the cars ain't on the edge. So wrecking is a big part of racing, just the way big hits are part of football. What are you telling me? You're going to show a football highlight package and no hard tackles? No tackling, because sometimes guys get hurt when they get tackled.
But you know,
but it's part of the sport. Wrecking is part of our sport. Ergo, they should show wreck. But wrecking is part of racing.
Listen, this sport,
at least in this race,
these guys are gladiators. They're cheating death every single day.
Are gladiators happy? I wonder.
Tony Stewart's not happy. But they're cheating death every day, and they go out to do it, and we go out to watch it. I don't know necessarily, is that right or wrong? Well, there's wrecking involved, and there's danger involved. Sorry, that's why. That's why we watch it. Come on.
Danger, Will Robinson. That has been your Rowdy.com Big Three for today. If you're reckless, how come you wreck more? I'll leave you with that. For Buck Fever and Bassmasters, that's me, and Buzz Cutler, that's him. We'll see you next time on the Rowdy.com Big Three. You can join us at Rowdy.com too during this off season. We're still doing stuff, apparently.
Fun stuff. Junk.
It's not junk.
Junk.
No, it's not.
In the trunk.
It's good.
Rowdy.com, built by race fans, for race fans.